Hi.
Hey,
So I know a lot of other religions in the past were followed for a long time, like Christianity was, and believed that it was really truly the religion for a long time. So how do we know Christianity isn't going to be thought of like that in the future? Like how it's, just dumb, and why did people think that? How do we know people aren't going to look at us like that?
okay, so let me say a couple of things. There will be people in the future and in your life who will think you're dumb for being a Christian. There always have been, and there always will be. I get comments all the time on social media. You're brainwashed. You're a Bible thumper. You're hateful, this and that. Like every day, dozens of comments all over the place. The Bible does say that the cross is foolishness to the Greeks and it's a stumbling block to the Jews. Jesus said the road is narrow. So we can't expect most people to always embrace it. Now, with that said, part of your question is some religions have come and gone. How do we know in 20 years or 50 years or 1,000 years we won't look back at Christianity? And here's my answer. Because Christianity has Jesus at the center. Nobody who has ever lived, Roberto, has had more influence than the person of Jesus Christ. And you know what's interesting about this? His public ministry was probably 2 to 3 years. He probably traveled 150 miles. He wrote no books. He had no military or political power. But the life he lived and the stories he told have turned the world upside down. And I'll tell you one last thing I think is remarkable. Some religions come and go, but everybody wants a piece of Jesus. Buddhists want to say Jesus was an enlightened one. Many Jews will say, yeah, Jesus was wrong about the resurrection thing, but he was a good Jewish teacher. Hindus will say he was a Hindu guru. Muslims, in the Quran, it says Jesus was the sinless, virgin-born, miracle-working prophet. So nobody who has ever lived has had more influence on the world or the world's religions than Christianity. So I can't possibly imagine that this figure, Jesus, is just going to disappear and people will look back on it. In fact, a friend of mine is writing a book right now, and he's walking through some of the most famous artists of the past century. And he looked to me, he said, Sean, every single one of them did at least one song about Jesus. They didn't do it about Muhammad, didn't do it about Buddha, but every single person felt like they had to weigh in on Jesus. There's something about this person, Jesus, Roberto, that has turned the world upside down. And Jesus is not going anywhere.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I do have another really great and I think deep question here.